John, with all this talk about security in these environments, does vSAN or can vSAN use a TPM module that's on a server?
So TPM modules, yes, can absolutely be used by vSAN. They're also used by vSphere, and you should buy them in all of your hosts. They're relatively inexpensive. I think the street price was like 40, $50 per server. It's a small little device that goes in there and that provides a trusted, secure enclave. With on the vSphere side, this can be used for host attenuation to help secure the boot process end to end. And on the vSAN side, there's a new exciting capability that was introduced in 7 Update 2. The ability to, in conjunction with the native key provider, which allows us to provide for data at rest encryption, our own key provider source with vCenter. You don't have to buy or consume a third-party one. It's a couple clicks to turn on. And there's a checkbox that lets you leverage the TPM as a place to cache those keys. And what this allows you to do is this removes kind of the chicken egg concern of before you had to have the KEMP servers, your KMS servers had to be, they had to, be online in order to bring a cluster back up. So you had some kind of boot order concerns and you definitely couldn't run them on the same cluster. But now if you have those and you use them, it will secure those keys locally so that when a host powers on, it can pull the key out through a system called key persistence. It'll pull the key out of that TPM. And this greatly simplifies kind of the safety of using a KMS system. Previously, there could be a lot of concerns of, if your KMS or your vCenter is remote or things like that. So if my key manager is remote, I might have concerns of, what happens if I lose the WAN and then I lose power to the site? I've had this conversation with customers. This is a solution to where that branch site that's encrypted in this case could pull the key securely out of its local TPM and bring that cluster back online without necessarily even have network connectivity back to the vCenter server or your key server in this case. And this is a distinct case that this is not yet supported on external key managers. This TPM integration is explicitly supported with the native key provider only with vSAN at this time.
What a great option though for increasing this idea of availability of those hosts though, because when you think about it, the design of a host is all around how can I make it more available. But of course, if you're using encryption and it's using keys and you need availability to the keys in order to provide access to that data, then it sounds like a TPM should be part of that story always in terms of making sure that those keys are highly available.
And it's true, you could do key persistence with just the boot device instead of the TPM. But with a boot device, it's a lot easier to steal the drives and steal the boot device. And you've walked off with a key. You've got a potential data leakage. A TPM is cryptographically bound to that server. If I take a TPM out and I grab some drives, I'm not getting the data back. Yeah. I'd have to steal the whole host. And at that point, I don't know if you've ever watched me carry a DL380 or an R730 that's fully loaded with drives. I look kind of suspicious on the security feeds in the colo at that point. And I expect fully to be banned very severely from. So this really helps, lower the likelihood of a data leak incident in a manner, particularly, if you've also got cases for you're concerned about data leakage from someone just decommissions drives incorrectly. They take the drives, they go put them on eBay. Well, without the TPM and that motherboard, you're not getting that data back.